Live from Lincoln, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Wilson. The Huskers forced Miami into overtime after a thrilling fourth quarter comeback. Let's check in with Peter Terpstra with the details.
Miami nights are supposed to be warm and rowdy. The Huskers night in Miami was that and then some. The comeback gave fans hope only to end in a cold, sinking fashion. The Huskers looking to repeat some of the magic from history between these two schools at Sun Life Stadium, this time not the Orange Bowl. First quarter, after a 3-and-out, Brad Kaya leads Miami down the field and connects with Chris Herndon. Slant. Canes up 7-0. Miami would put that on repeat. Later in the first, Tyre Brady this time with the grab. Caps a 4-play, 60-yard drive. Quick strike, 14-0. Miami. Canes tack on a field goal. 179 yards of total offense in the first for the Canes. They're up 17-0. What a quarter to forget. In the second, Huskers get some momentum back. Terrell Newby squirting out for a 23-yard gain on 2nd and 6. That led to this, a career-long field goal for Drew Brown, 49-yarder. Huskers it on the board, 17-3, Miami in front. The Canes keeping up with those explosive plays. Kaya hooks up with Scott. Again, 52-yard run after the catch. That led to a field goal. 20-3 Hurricanes right before half. Nebraska needs a touchdown. They get an interception. Tommy picked off by Artie Burns at the 1-yard line. Huskers trailed 20-3 going into the locker room. Third quarter, Joseph Yearby gashing, slashing, and scoring. He goes 41 yards to the crib. Miami up 27-3. A bright spot at this point. Tommy Armstrong is playing his tail off, extending plays. Finds Jordan Westerkamp in the end zone. That caps a 10-play, 75-yard drive. 27-10, starting to chip away. Later third, and now a 20-point game. Miami. Tommy looks for Brandon Riley, and ball is tipped, lands in the hands of Dion Bush. He would later be ejected from a targeting penalty. Armstrong's second pick of the day. Fourth quarter, Miami on the 8-yard line, looking to score again, but Josh Kalu getting the pick, and maybe the Huskers can make a run at this thing later in the fourth. Armstrong to Alonzo Moore. His first catch is a touchdown. Huskers still down 33-18 after a successful 2-point conversion. More of the comeback. 4 minutes left. Armstrong to Brandon Riley. Wow. Hurricane fans getting nervous. 21-yard score brings things within 8 points. Can they do it? Wow. From the 8-yard line, Armstrong to Stanley Morgan Jr. The Huskers are within 2 with 30 seconds left. They go for 2 against Miami. Sound familiar? Except this time, they get it. We are all tied up at 33. Goes to overtime after Nebraska was once down by 24 points. Very first play in overtime for the Huskers. Oh boy. Armstrong picked off. Obviously did not see the defensive back. From the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, Alex Lewis gets a penalty there for unnecessary roughness. So Miami gets a start at the 12-yard line. An easy 28-yard field goal. It is good. Your final score, folks. Miami 36, Nebraska 33 in overtime. The Huskers fell short of what would have been the biggest comeback in school history. They dropped to 1-2 for the first time since 1981. That year, they went on to win the rest of their games. Channel 8's Brett Edwards was there through the slow start and the fast finish. He takes it from here.
Things were looking bleak here at Sun Life Stadium. The Huskers trailed by as many as 24 at one point in this game. Many Nebraska fans were ready to head to the beach, but they stuck around, and so did the Big Red, tying the game up and sending it to overtime, but coming up short by a field goal.
I don't know that I can name a turning point. I never sensed them not. They might have seemed down. It's not easy to jump up and down when you're that far behind, but they never stopped playing. I just thought at halftime we were our own worst enemies. We were just, we couldn't do anything without doing something wrong, make a play and get a penalty or something. We just was sloppy, very sloppy.
I saw Tariq running baseline or the back line on that zone. Didn't really see the corner. I underthrew it. I even told him, that's on me. I have made throws in that game that, some of them were great, some of them were bad. I just got to make sure I fix my mistakes. I feel like we had all the momentum. We just had to make sure we made plays, and throwing a pick on the first play is not a way to, have it go.
2 of the first 3 games under Mike Riley at Nebraska have been heartbreaking losses. The Huskers will hope to rebound next week against Southern Miss. Reporting in Miami with the Huskers, Brett Edwards, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, Sports.
Thank you, Brett. One bright spot of today's performance, freshman wideout Stanley Morgan Jr. had a career day, 4 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. It was the Huskers' first regular season loss in the state of Florida since 1951.
Now, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, Sports.
The Huskers fall to 1-2 on the season after an overtime loss to Miami today, 36-33. Nebraska was down 17-0 after the first quarter, and they were down by 24 points in the third. They started slow, but finished fast, sending the thing to overtime. It makes you think, what if they had played fast the entire game?
We started slow. We definitely did start slow. And that's tough, man, when you get behind by a couple scores right away. But, like I said, it was awesome to see our team fight back. And, what if we did start fast? We might have won, by multiple touchdowns.
We made a lot of mistakes on our end where, we could eliminate it early. They kind of got a quick jump on us and kind of bit us in the end. Loss is loss, yeah. But like I said, I think, the ball game could have been a whole lot different if, we would have, played our game. But I don't think we prepared very well. I thought we had a pretty good week of practices. I didn't think that we put it on tape today.
I realized that, we can't take things for granted. We got to prepare well. You got to come out and have a purpose. And, that's the football team that I've seen in spring and fall the last maybe 17 minutes of the game. We just got to make sure we play all 4 quarters like that.
Let's look at the stats from today's game, starting with the team stats. Things turned out more even after Nebraska's comeback. Both teams running the ball for about the same. The Huskers giving up about 70 more passing yards, each with 24 first downs. Turnovers, the story in this one, as it is for most college football games. Nebraska had 3, just 1 pick for Miami. The last interception hurting the Huskers the most. Only 3 points off of turnovers for either team total. The winning field goal for Miami. Both teams with way too many penalties as well. Here's Nebraska's top performers. Quarterback Tommy Armstrong went 21-45 for the day, threw for 309 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Armstrong also rushed for 49 yards, took a couple bad sacks on the day. Terrell Newby led the Huskers in rushing with 82 yards, and Jordan Westerkamp had the hot hands at receiver, 95 yards and a touchdown. And for Miami, Brad Kaya killing it. 25 of 42 for 379 yards, only 1 interception, 2 touchdowns. Joe Yearby rushed for 125 yards and a score, and Rashawn Scott had 9 catches for 151 yards. Nebraska volleyball plays on the road today at Iowa State without their head coach. John Cook had a trip to California to see his sister because of a family emergency. Danny Busboom Kelly as the interim coach today. Nebraska finished up non-conference play with a 3-1 win. Katie Rolfson led the team in kills. Next up, Nebraska goes to Iowa to start Big Ten play Wednesday at 7 p.m. Still to come in sports tonight. We step away from the Huskers, but plenty of Big Ten highlights. The top team in the land almost went down. Surprises and blowouts, both next. Welcome back. A busy day in the Big Ten with plenty of close games. Let's get this Big Ten blitz rolling. Top-ranked Ohio State taking on Northern Illinois at home late in the third quarter. Ohio State only up by 3. Offense wasn't getting it done, so the defense takes over. Darren Lee, 41-yard pick 6. Ohio State would go on to win a close one, 20-13. Air Force visiting number 4, Michigan State. First quarter, Connor Cook to Josiah Price, 15 yards for the Tutties, 7-0 Sparty, and they would continue to roll. Check out this catch. Oh, that's nice. Spartans win 35-21. Top 25 Northwestern and Duke. That kind of sounds strange. Top 25 Northwestern. First quarter, Thomas Sirk That's a 5-yard touchdown run for the Duke Blue Devils. That would give them the 7-0 lead. So Duke strikes first, Northwestern strikes last. The Wildcats win 19-10. Wisconsin hosting Troy. And the Badgers up 21-3 in the fourth. Joel Stavy, pump fake, deep ball, sends it to Austin Traylor for another score, just tacking on. Wisconsin would go on to win this one, 28-3. Michigan hosting former Husker coach Barney Cotton in Nevada, Las Vegas. Second quarter, 7-0 Wolverines. Jehu Chesson, 36-yard run for the touchdown. Jim Harbaugh doing some good things there in the Big House. Michigan wins 28-7. Penn State and Rutgers. This one, the late game on BTN tonight. Penn State and the Nittany Lions were just hounding Rutgers, and Rutgers has really had a bad year. Kyle Flood suspended. 21 points in the first half for the Nittany Lions. Penn State goes on to win 28-3. Iowa and Pittsburgh. This one broadcast locally on BTN here tonight. Iowa up 10-7 late in the second. Here in second and goal, C.J. Beathard. Handoff to Jordan Canzeri. Powers in the end zone. Hawkeyes go up 70-7. Iowa would win on a 57-yard field goal. Wow. 27-24. Illinois and North Carolina. First quarter, 3-0 Carolina. Romar Morris from 7 yards out, 10-0 for the Heels. Illinois, not a good day for them. They go down big, 48-14. Indiana and Western Kentucky, along with Virginia Tech and Purdue. Close one, Indiana getting the field goal win over Western Kentucky, 38-35. Purdue falling to Virginia Tech, 51-24. The Kansas City Royals called up former Husker pitcher Michael Marriott today. The boys in blue playing at Detroit tonight. Things went to extra innings, and the Royals lost to the Tigers 6-5 in 11. Number 4, Doane visiting Hastings College. Some GPAC football for you. Pick it up in the first. Turner Hill taking the handoff, just falling into the end zone for 6 with the extra point. 7-0 Tigers. Broncos for Hastings trying to get the offense going, but Jason Gaines, ruh-roh, picked off. Doane goes on to win 31-6. How about Nebraska Wesleyan taking on Briarcliff in their home opener? First quarter field goal for Briarcliff gives them the lead. Dylan Dismaris finds Kevin Van Egdom climbing the ladder for the 30-yard reception. The drive would stall, though. Second quarter, Wesleyan quarterback Ben Green picked off by Spencer Sinclair. Briarcliff getting it done on defense. And pretty good amount of offense, too. They were going to win 23-7. Concordia visiting number 9 Northwestern College in Orange City, Iowa. See if we can get this highlight for you, folks. All right, we don't have that one for you, but Northwestern would win that one over Concordia, 17-14. The final. A couple more Big Ten scores for you. A lot going on. Minnesota beat Kent State 10-7. Maryland beat South Florida 35-17.
All right, thanks, Pete. Final check of your weather coming up after the break.